Hey everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. So later on this week, certain Social Security beneficiaries can expect to receive their checks directly deposited into their bank accounts worth all the way up to $5,100. In today's video, we are going to be covering who all can expect to receive their checks this week, plus Frank Bisignano's updated outlook on the future of Social Security solvency. But before we go ahead and dive into for today, if you would like to receive up to $200 in free stock or $200 in free cash, in a pinned comment below, I will be leaving a link to Robinhood. All you have to do is once you click on that link is just sign up for a free account and then simply link your bank account. You do not even have to make an opening deposit. At that point in time, Robinhood will be sending you one free stock worth all the way up to $200. And if you really just have the cash, all you have to do is once you receive the free stock is just sell it for what it's worth and then transfer the cash value right back to your bank account. Okay, so diving right into for today. So before we get into the checks going out later on this week, worth all the way up to $5,108. First off, we're going to be looking at this interview. We're going to be watching this interview by the current Commissioner of the Social Security Administration, in Frank Bisignano. In this interview, he's talking about the future of Social Security, his future outlook of Social Security solvency. Let's go ahead and watch.
I mean, we haven't talked to you. You were leading this big company, Fiserv, and financial, payments company, and now you're leading Social Security in America. How different is that?
Well, many of the things are very much the same. At Fiserv, I used to say we served every American household. And today we have more than 300 million Americans who have Social Security numbers, and they're live in the system. People like to talk about the 70 million plus beneficiaries, and we do make those payments every month. But I think that that's one piece of the equation. And we're running a digital business now. We have more transactions online than anywhere else. And the bold goal here is 200 million digital users by the end of next year. That's 200 million. Today we have 75 million. We've grown that a bunch in the past 5 months. We've taken the website, which used to be down for service hours 29 hours a week, and now it's up 100% of the time. We're in a digital transformation for Social Security.
What about this federal appellate court warning about a depression if the tariffs get overturned and people losing their benefits?
Well, my view is that the president is driving this incredible agenda. It's my honor to serve. It's a multi-part attack that he's doing. And any one element somebody could pick on, but if you look at the totality of what he's doing, he's driving growth, he's bringing world peace, and everybody's going to have something to say about the other side. I mean, people said when I took Social Security I was going to break it. If you look at my career, I think it's quite the opposite, and we're doing it right now, technically fixing it.
Well, the concern in this case was regarding the courts and how they view some of these emergency tariffs. Do you think the market at least is underpricing the risk that the court would vote or would rule that some of these tariffs are not in fact constitutional?
It's not necessarily mine, but I don't think the market's doing anything other than what it normally does. It evaluates risk. There's lots of really smart people out there, and there's always going to be somebody picking on something that we're doing.
Now that you've sort of had the books open to you, do you feel more or less comfortable about the curve, the Social Security benefits curve, and its sustainability, its ability to keep its promise at least to a large group of living Americans?
I feel really good. I really feel really good about it. To me, the first job in protecting and preserving was to get the foundation right, to have the American public served in a way they've never been served before. If it used to take 30 minutes to answer the phone, now it takes single digits within the first 100 days here. I think that foundation allows the trust fund, and that would be 4 trustees, myself being one of them, Treasury Secretary, Labor Secretary, and HHS, Congress, and the White House to come together on what the future is.
But isn't the future insolvency? Like, isn't that the hard truth about Social Security?
We will always face a curve, and there will always be a solution, right? I mean, if you hear what people forecast, it's 83% in 33, we're in 25. There's lots of time to fix this. And I think the first job was to get Social Security to perform well, right? It wasn't performing well operationally, and to serve the American public so people feel great about it. I have no concern about the future.
Were you, when in the earlier part of the year where we were talking about DOGE and the hollowing out of agencies and people getting fired and rehired, did it feel visceral to you? Were you part of that?
Well, if you remember, I was sitting right here after my last earnings call, which was in February, and you asked, are you going to work with DOGE? And I said, I'm fundamentally DOGE. I spent my whole career making things more efficient, higher quality. Well, that went viral, right? and the reality is we have an SSA organization. We have great engineers. The time that I came on the job in May, nothing odds happened except progress. That's it, progress. People would root against us, but it's not working.
More efficient, for sure, lower wait time, and all that's good, better customer service. But what about the deficit problem?
Well, making proper payments, which, we announced the other day that if the Inspector General found $17 billion in improper payments, we already reduced half of that. So proper payments matter. Remember, it's just not retirement, it's disability, it's SSI. There's a lot of work on disability that still can be done. So I think we will make it more efficient. And I think as the curve continues to be studied, the time will be, my 100th day will be on the 90th anniversary on Thursday. I expect when we get to the latter half of the year and into next year, we'll be talking about what to do about solvency.
Okay, so once again, that was Frank Bisignano. Leave your thoughts and comments below. What do you think about the future of Social Security? Do you think it is in good hands under the current commissioner in Frank Bisignano, and of course under the current president Donald Trump? Do you think the future looks better, or do you think the future potentially looks worse? Leave your thoughts and comments below. Now, on top of that, of course, later on this week on Wednesday, to be exact, certain Social Security beneficiaries are going to be receiving their checks worth all the way up to $5,108. Of course, that is only going to be the maximum, though. The average as of this month is right around $2,000. So we're going to be covering this article here by Newsweek. They say that millions of Americans who depend on Social Security will get their monthly payment this week. The Social Security Administration distributes benefits to more than 70 million people, including retirees, disabled workers, and the families of deceased wage earners. The agency staggers payments across the month to manage the large volume of recipients. So on Wednesday, August 20th, in just 2 days, individuals who receive retirement, spousal, or survivor benefits and whose birthdays fall between the 11th and 20th of any month will get their monthly checks. So basically, once again, if your birthday falls between the 11th and 20th of any given month, later on this week on Wednesday, you will be receiving your check. Now, as far as how much Social Security goes, they mentioned there that as of May 2025, the average monthly Social Security benefit was recorded at $2,002.39, and actual benefit amounts differ depending on lifetime earnings and the age at which payments begin. So, for example, those who claim at the earliest possible age of 62 may receive up to $2,831 per month, whereas waiting until the full retirement age of 67 raises the maximum amount to $4,018. And then finally, the highest payout, if you can wait all the way until the age of 70, at the age of 70, you can actually receive all the way up to the maximum of $5,108. Now, on top of that, of course, over the next couple of months, we are going to have a better idea of what the next cost of living adjustment increase is going to be looking like for 2026. In the middle of October is when we're going to know for sure. This month we got the first very important inflation metric number that did give us a little bit better of an idea. Right now they are saying that right here, that in its July analysis, the Senior Citizens League projected a 2.7% COLA for 2026. That would be an increase of slightly above $50 per month for the average Social Security retiree. We won't know for sure, though, again, until the middle of October. That's when we're going to have the final third quarter number for the inflation metric, the CPIW, to be able to compare it to the third quarter of last year, and whatever that has increased by is what the COLA increase is going to be for 2026. But once again, leave your thoughts and comments below about everything that we discussed in today's video. But that's all we have for today's video, and I will see you in the next one.